We're running out of time, literally right here, literally right now, we're running out of time, and this whole great controversy, we're running out of time. So the Bible says this, 2 Timothy chapter 3, people are asking themselves, what brings to the mind of a man to go into a school and to blow up kids, to kill kids? What is happening in the 21st century to the minds of people here on earth? We're going straight to the Bible. 2 Timothy chapter 3. The Bible says in 2 Timothy chapter 3, the Bible says this. The Bible says this, 2 Timothy chapter 3, it says this. Know also, that in the last days, perilous times will come. Perilous times. The Bible doesn't say it's going to be jumpy times. The Bible doesn't say we're going to be jumping up and down. It says, look, perilous times, right? Now check this out. Perilous times. 2 Timothy 3 says this, that there will be people that will be lovers of themselves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents. Why do we have kids that don't even want to be in the home? Kids that will just want to run the streets. They want a street education because they find that there's nothing else there for me. Give me something to be happy with. And so now we're asking the question, yes, we're in the last days, perilous times are here, and we see that there will be many kids that will be disobedient to their parents. Kids, how can you walk into shops and see kids swearing at their parents because they have no respect? We're living in a land of just utter sin and lawlessness. And so the Bible says this. What else did the Bible say would happen? The Bible said this, that there will be people that will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. So the Bible now says that there will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. That is to say that there are people saying to themselves that, yes, I hear you're saying Jesus is love. Yes, so what? Guess why? Because I don't find no pleasure in God. I find pleasure outside of God. So we have people that are lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Because it's a deception to think that there's no pleasure in the path of righteousness, that there's no pleasure in the path of Christ, that there's no pleasure in what we call Jesus Christ. But we're making it clear. There's something in the Bible that makes it clear. Psalm 16:11. The Bible says in Psalm 16:11, Psalms chapter 16, the Bible says this. People are saying it's so boring to follow Christ. People are saying we all know it. We you know. Us as a ministry, we used to be on the clubs. Some of the boys used to be rolling in the gangs. And so there's no way people can say, yeah, who are these young people? Who are these guys? They don't know anything. Because we're seeing that we used to be in places where we're not anymore. And the question is, why did we turn from our lives outside there in the world? Because the Bible says this. The Bible says this in Psalm 16. The Bible says, Psalm 16:11, it says, thou wilt show me the path of life. In thy presence is fullness of joy, and at thy right hand there's pleasures forevermore. What did we read in 2 Timothy 3? That people in the last days would be saying there's no pleasure in Jesus. There's no pleasure in God. That there's no pleasure in the path of righteousness. But we just saw that at God's right hand are pleasures. So there's a deception where people think that when you come to Jesus and serve Him, that there's no pleasures. But we're making it clear today that the Bible just says, in the right hand of Jesus, there's pleasures forevermore. Pleasures forevermore. Why? Because we were in the clubs. We were on the streets. We were doing so many things. Why are we not doing anymore? Why are we an army of young people that couldn't care less about the world? Why? Because the Bible just said that in God's right hand is pleasures, right? And this is the last point. Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs 4, as we finish this up. Proverbs chapter 4, the Bible says this, right? Why is it that you have a group of young people that couldn't care less about the world? Why is it that you have a group of young people that couldn't care less if we don't have food, if we don't have clothes all over the show? Why? Because I couldn't care less if I've got no money. As long as I can live and eat, as long as I have that, I'm cool, man. Because we've been called for such a time as this. Now, as we finish this last point, Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs 4 says this. Proverbs 3, man. Proverbs 3 says this, right? The Bible says this. Happy is the man that finds wisdom and the man that gets understanding. Why? Why? Okay. People are saying that the Bible, the path of understanding, right? It's a man's book, right? The Bible just says that happy is the man that finds wisdom and happy is the man that finds the path of righteousness, right? Why? Because the Bible says this in verse 17. It says, why do you get happy? Why when you come to the path of righteousness? Because the Bible says this in verse 17. Her ways, the ways of wisdom and understanding, are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. That means the Bible just says not some paths. The Bible just says not a few paths. The Bible didn't just say a couple paths. The Bible says all paths in Jesus are peace. And so we're making it clear today as we finish that look around, man. We're living in a world where people will spend thousands of dollars. People will sacrifice morals. People will sacrifice their time and energy. They will waste money because they're told that they have to dress like Usher, be like Rihanna, be like Tyler the Creator, be like Lil Wayne. They're told that if they don't be like these people, that they're not worth anything. They're being told that they need these people to find joy in Jesus. But we're making it clear that as we finish this, the Bible said in the last days, perilous times will come. That in the last days, people will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Why? Because there's a deception out there today in 2012 saying that if you're a follower of Jesus, that there's no pleasure. And we're making it clear today, as we wrap this up, the Bible said in the last days there'll be people loving pleasure more than God. Why? Because they think if you're not in God, you will have pleasure. But Psalm said that only at God's right hand are pleasures forevermore. And so the last point is that Proverbs 4 said that if we find wisdom and understanding in the Bible, the Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth, we will be happy. And listen what it says. Listen what it says. Listen what it says as we finish this point. Listen what it says. Proverbs 4. It says this, man, so plain. Her ways are ways of pleasantness and all, right? The Bible just said all her paths, right? It didn't say some paths. It didn't say a few paths. It didn't say, okay, if you have paths on one day a week. No. The Bible says every single path found in Jesus is a path of peace and a path of pleasantness. And as we finish, Psalm 119 verse 165 says, great peace have they which love thy law. The Bible says great peace have they which love God's law. That's right, the 10 Commandments, including the 7th day Sabbath. We're making it clear today, God has raised an army of young people preaching place. The final messengers. Why? Because Matthew 24:14 is coming very soon. If you're a young person out there saying to yourself, I don't need pleasures in Jesus, we're making it clear that only in Jesus, only in the path of righteousness, can anybody find true peace in a world that is trying to tell you that there's joy. And so the Bible made it clear that there's two groups, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. Why? Because that pleasure is temporary. But we're making it clear that a time is coming very soon and very soon, where there's no more pleasures of this world. This is why my final admonition is this. 1 John chapter 2 verse says this, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. Why? Because if any man loveth the world, the love of the Father is not in him. It says, for all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, it is not of the Father, it is of the world. Soon and very soon, this world is going to pass away. Soon and very soon, this great controversy is going to end. And the question is this, where will you be? Will you be someone that is trying to find joy in the world? Make your decision today. Joshua 1:9. Our mission is, look, make a decision. Choose you this day whom you will serve. Preaching place, final messengers. Matthew 24:14 coming very soon. This is me. I'm out. God bless.